Yo guys, this is my guide for how to do certain bosses. In today's video we'll do Vengeful Pinata God, Shadow Draken and Darknick. I won't do these two because I can't explain these, and this one I'll do in the last video. Alright, so let's get straight to it. So for Vengeful Pinata, all you want to do is get to like 50k HP before you do this, because some of the enemies can be pretty powerful. I'm gonna say, don't focus on the enemies, because if you focus on the enemies, you'll have a hard time dealing with this guy, especially if you don't have enough HP. If you just focus on the enemies, you're just gonna do more damage to you, it's just gonna get even harder. So all I'm gonna say if I do this, stay above him and try to get some of the enemies off you, and try to do this with a friend as well to make it a little bit easy if you can't do it on your own. For Shadow Draken, I'd recommend getting a lot of jumps. But all Shadow Draken does is uses green. He uses green acid on the floor if you're on the floor, so I'd avoid staying on the floor, because then you'll have less floor to go on when you're in the air and you have to go on the floor once you run out of jumps. And the enemies will spawn on the floor, which will be a problem if you're in the air. So say if I was in the air, I only have these to avoid, which are pretty easy. But if you have under 50k HP and you get hit by one of them, you're basically dead if you don't have any flasks. So try and avoid them. So when you're doing this, just try and avoid those and you should be good to go. And at the very last bit, he's going to pull you in, but all you have to do is literally just keep rolling out of it and keep jumping. These bosses won't be really hard to do because it's not gonna take long for me to kill him, but I'm gonna stop shooting at the last phase when he's got one head. So what he does is pull in, and all you have to do is just roll and press jump, and that's basically all you do for that. And then you just avoid it until he does it again. And then you keep doing that. Yep, and that's Shadow Draken done. So basically, just stay in the air while shooting him, and just avoid these green acid fire bullets. So when you do them, it's not going to be that hard. The last phase is pretty easy as well, so just keep doing that. And if you get hit by one of them, if you have any flasks and you're under 50k HP, you're basically dead. And also, you're probably going to need a lot of jumps, otherwise this is going to be a pretty hard boss for you. Now for Darknick, absolutely never go in the air. Do not do this. Do not do what I'm doing, otherwise he'll just keep aiming at you. Go on the floor and avoid him. Do not go in the air. Never go in the air when fighting Darknick. Always go under him. Now it's gonna take me a little bit longer so I can explain more things. So most of the attacks are pretty easy, except for the shield, which is really, really annoying. I just don't like it. Yeah, and he uses it. And at the end of this phase, he shoots you like a lot of times. Most of the attacks are pretty easy to avoid at phase 1. And they don't do that much damage either. What you'll want to basically do, once he uses his shotgun, it's phase 2. So he'll jump soon into the middle. Yep, this is phase 2 and he'll start using rockets. Try to stay next to Darknick at this phase. Otherwise, it'll be pretty hard to, you know, avoid the fire and not get hit by it. But if the fire's here, you just gotta have to lure him. If the fire's literally on Darknet, because you literally can't fight him, or you can just do that. And for avoiding that, which I didn't do very well, you just either jump over it or just go to the side, but I'd rather go to the side. But if there's fire all the way around, and you literally can't go to the side, just jump over it. He doesn't shoot you, he doesn't shoot with the mini missile that much in this phase anyway, so you're basically fine if you jump for a little bit. And when he does that motion, he's gonna jump. And then you just stay behind him for all his over attacks. All his over attacks are pretty easy. And for this laser, you just go to the side. And also try not to get caught in the laser, because it does quite a lot of damage if you get caught in it. And then about 3/4 of the health, he uses this nuke, and I'll tell you how to avoid it when he uses it. Yep, so with this nuke, it one hits you, so you have to go to the corner. You can't jump over or anything. You just have to go to the corner. And then for here, just go behind. Then for the last phase, you'll just mix all the attacks together. And then you can shoot him if he see you anyways. And they'll jump it back to the middle. Then, oh my gosh. But when he uses his shield, it's just really annoying. I don't really like it. But you can still do reasonable amount of damage, and use your mount to get into the thing, because if you don't, then it'd be really hard. Well, it's obviously use your mount. And they just has all these attacks, but it's still pretty easy if you know how to avoid them. Alright, then use this nuke again. And this should be the last bit. And when he uses his rockets, always go next to Darknet, don't go anywhere else. These are just my things I use, and they help me a lot. But you guys might have other tactics to do this, so I'm perfectly fine with that. But these are just my tactics, and they might help if you're getting stuck with bosses like this. Obviously, Darknet takes way longer because he's got a lot more health than the other bosses. But you should get him done. Like I did it in just 5 minutes. Couldn't even count there. I mean, you can get loot if you want, but it's alright. It's not good loot, but it's alright. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of how to do certain shadow bosses. Obviously, I'm gonna do Daughter of the Moon in the last video. I mean, Spikewalker and Weeping Prophet should be a little easy enough. It shouldn't take too long, and these are just the bosses that might take you a little bit of time. So, hope you enjoy.